Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Rendezvous Podcast. This is episode 4, I think. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I'm here with Bangovich and Bodok, as usual. How are you guys? How's your week been?
Oh my God, I'm doing good. But looking over to Bo, I'm all like, I don't know. We are 1 second into the episode and he's cooking already. He's cooking already. What can you cook at this time? Let us know.
I just got done with dinner. That's one thing that I was cooking. But I am in a goofy mood. I am in a silly mood right now. I'm just in such a man. It's an amazing day. Huh.
At least there's no more like crazy upsets for you to pred, really. All the matches that could have been upsets. Kind of passed
Omega
now.
bracket. Okay. I'll just start off with this. Like Omega bracket, sleeper. Good night.
I don't get where you guys have got this
it's not
whole
sleeper.
narrative from. But let's start with that. The Omega bracket, the most recent games since we've since the last episode. I think was our last episode just before the Omega bracket started, was it?
I believe
Yes.
we covered 2 matches, right? 3 matches actually.
Yeah, like we've recorded
yeah.
actually like none of the games has been played. Like the entire Omega bracket was like
Yeah, because it was a week ago, right? Yeah.
Yeah, on Wednesday
So the
started.
Alpha bracket had just finished.
Okay. Makes sense. All right. So, all right, we'll just keep it as short as possible because like this is going to be a long episode.
Yeah,
Extremely long episode.
There are a lot of games, so yeah, let's just let's go all through
So
the matches, but
let's-
keep it.
Yeah.
Let's start with one of the actually the most surprising match, which is
Yeah, I'd
between
argue
Team
that.
Liquid and Team Secret. And
Probably
I-
the only upset to actually have happened in this entire bracket.
Yeah, I mean,
And even you could
it was
probably
the
say in
biggest
this
one.
entire tournament. Like
the biggest
'cause it
upset by
hasn't
far.
Really. Yeah.
especially with the score. Oh man.
Yeah.
All right, let's start off with Bangovich. What is your opinion about this match? Because I know
Yeah.
you are a die-hard Liquid fan.
Yeah, I was crying for the last week, basically. Just
Yeah, I mean, you sounded so depressed when we were listening to the press conference. You were just like, I am not in a good mood. I am just in pain.
I'm actually in pain. Like the thing is, it's okay to lose against Secret. It's okay to lose the first match on LAN. But the way we lost was actually heartbreaking. Like I don't know what it was, and I saw like some comments. They were like aiming at like certain individuals of the team, but honestly, it's not an individual mistake. The entire team looked bad. It's not just one player. The intent, like I don't know how it felt for you guys, but for me, the feeling I got from that match was like that Liquid, like they were not relying on strats or calling, but they just tried to individually make rounds work. It didn't look in sync.
Yeah.
It didn't look like a well-oiled machine or anything. It just looked like, I don't know, it just felt so off. And it was a bit shocking to me since they are pracking for a long time. I know, like, got information from like some streams and stuff where Yumpy said like they couldn't barely prack with Redka because of certain issues. They were like pracking the last month mainly with who's the name again? Demasic, exactly. They were pracking with Demasic most of the time, so not with the IGL. But now the IGL is back, and they still had like a week or something to prep for this match, and they didn't look prepared at all. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was really shocked. Also, the map picks, I don't know, it's a bit weird. Icebox and Fracture. And I think the biggest takeaway was like how slow they started into the matches. Like the first match, Icebox, 10-2 for Team Secret. Like you cannot come back from that. That's already like your hopes are crushed. I mean, of course they got some rounds on the defense, but they're just cosmetic. They didn't change anything for the outcome. And then on Fracture, where you think like, okay, now they're gonna wake up. They get 9 freed. And like at this point, your mental must be boomed. I don't know. I still have like hopes for the team. Like, I mean, we can do this after we all talked about the match, but like I think I still have hopes for Liquid for the EMEA League. But considering them a top 3 team at this point is like just an overstatement.
All right,
and I say that as the biggest fan. Like that hurts my heart, guys. Yeah.
I'll put it as simple. My opinion about this as simple as possible. This was not the Liquid I know from EMEA. This was like a ghost, just vibing around. This was not a match that I mean, like I'll be honest. Like normally when a team sucks, I'm gonna meme the shit out of them, and if they win,
true.
I'm gonna hype them up and everything. But for the first time ever I've actually just been I was speechless. I was actually speechless about the performance. There were so many issues I saw. Like there were rounds where you basically you looked at the face cam and people the players were like they were trying to like figure out something that wasn't the game. They just looked so out of it. And especially when who was it again? I believe it was Soulcast. When you look at him and his webcam just starts shaking, and I was so confused by that. Maybe the gimbal was a little bit lower or something, or otherwise he had some pretty bad anxiety. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It just felt like they weren't playing the game. They were like fighting something else in their own heads, because Redguard was also like making weird decisions, especially on Fracture, where he just suddenly just gave up.
I feel like watching the game, it was like I was watching the first half of Icebox, and Liquid just started losing rounds, then they kept losing rounds, and then they kept losing rounds, and suddenly it's 10-1. And I was like, this is not, this is not the Liquid that was promised or what we were thinking it was going to look like. I think the only positive that they got out of this match was Nats, especially on Fracture, still looked really good. Obviously they're all very experienced on LAN, but yeah, I thought Nats played well on Fracture. But other than that, I don't think this was to do with the actual skill inside the game, or like you said, I think it's something else. But the other thing is, Team Secret looked really good. I feel like a lot of times these European squads who have really good players, but maybe not the sound game plans, like Liquid before when they had Scream, don't think Liquid ever looked this bad. But I think sometimes they can just like kind of roll them with their individual skill. But it definitely didn't happen here. Team Secret looked very coordinated, and
they looked extremely good. Like this was not the Team Secret that we saw years, actually, like all the way back in Champions or everything. You could easily read Team Secret back in the day, but this Team Secret just looked so coordinated and could adapt to nearly everything. And like Jesse Vash. Jesse was absolutely popping. Like it was insane. It was actually just like he was on the same level as like Jeremy and Envy at some points.
For me, there's so many teams in this tournament that, including Team Secret, where I feel as though if they were placed into that like Team Heretics, Evil Geniuses, MIBR, Talent, Esports bracket, if they were placed into that small bracket, they could have made top 8 easily. But because they got placed, it's like Gen G played loud in the first game. You have like Koi, you have Team Secret, like these kind of teams where you think they're really good, but they unfortunately, even Team Secret won this game, but then they have to play up against Na'Vi, and it's like, well, okay.
Yeah, and even the match against Na'Vi was close.
Yeah,
I mean,
like, it was. Those were insane rounds, and like if you look at the scoreboard, it didn't look that close. But like when you kept watching the VODs, like it was insane. Like how much CNET or Xiao or Suigetsu had to like pull back to like keep winning them rounds.
Yeah. A big takeaway for me was like when I saw the announcement of this roster, right? The only addition basically is Envy at this point. The rest of 4 other players is basically the same core from 2021 and throughout 2022, where they kind of dropped off. Then they added Warbirds like not that long ago, I think 2 months ago. And Envy was already proving that he is a difference maker. I saw like this, wasn't he getting like this Deagle clutch on the round against Na'Vi, and then like he was the MVP in the series against Liquid and Warbirds as a coach. I don't know what he did in those 2 months, but apparently like the fundamentals, they work. Like Team Secret's trading, their utility usage, generally they were not falling for any baits or like rotation. Like I don't know, they weren't over rotating. They just looked very, I don't know, very like they were just dialed in basically, and they're doing exactly what they have supposed to do. Nothing flashy really, but just doing everything they should do, the fundamentals correctly to win matches, to win rounds, and just outclass Liquid in that series in every aspect. Like honestly, in every aspect they were outperforming Liquid. And despite Nat's very good performance on Fracture, just Team Secret were the way better team. Like it hurts me to say like that Liquid deserved to lose with this caliber of players, but they did. And I'm very happy for Team Secret on the other hand, because I think, especially after 2022, the rough year they've been through, it's very nice to see those players. And Borkum also, like, he was the hero of the second map, I feel like. Or just generally, like, I don't know, great series from Team Secret.
And I think there's something to explore there with the kind of North American or EMEA style of playing and trading and that kind of thing, and harnessing the actual cracked nature of these players from APAC and like, you know, just the Pacific region in general. Because I feel like a lot of times they have cracked players, but maybe as a team they're not as coherent, which is why they haven't been able to like maybe win a trophy yet in Valorant. So taking like Warbirds as a coach, and there was the stuff they're doing at GE as well, although of course they didn't win their game, but I think that, you know, that could be really impactful, like in general for Pacific teams. Maybe bringing along some NA or EMEA coaches could be, you know, really beneficial for a lot of those teams, and Team Secret. So
I feel like we need to speed it up a little bit. I can
let's
already feel like we are making these discussions very long. But next up, Na'Vi versus Crew, and I'll just say, like, I saw what I expected, to be honest. I was this was a match, to say the least. It was just I mean, it was literally just like Na'Vi playing. It wasn't that interesting, I'll be honest.
I mean, thought it was going to become interesting.
The comp from Lotus actually was a little bit interesting, like the double duelist for Crew. But other than that, I was just like, I was close to falling asleep because like it was really expected. And then out of nowhere, they started like Crew won a bunch of rounds on Lotus, and then suddenly like Angel just activated.
Yes, what the fuck?
I didn't even know what happened there. He was playing well on the first map as well.
I was like, I'll be honest, it might be the keyboard he got. He got like the Wooting keyboard, just like me.
Maybe,
It might be that, because like his positioning was superb.
I was watching the vlog of sorry, comment, go on.
No. I was just gonna say, I don't think I've ever seen Angel get this many kills in 2 maps. 45 kills across 2 maps.
Yeah, and apparently that's not like just a coincidence, because Latex in the vlog of Na'Vi said that in scrims lately, Angel is the one carrying. So not joking, he actually said that. I think it was that as serious, and after seeing this Lotus map, I'm convinced. Like, I think Angel maybe, I don't know what he's doing, aim labs or Kovacs or the new Wooting keyboard. He is cooking. He's not just cooking the strats, he's just hitting the shots.
I do have a feeling that like now that Latex is also a part of the team, that he has to like, that he could take a little time off like the strat book and everything, because like him and Doombros, they were always the guys like making all the strats and everything. Maybe he got a little bit more time where he can like focus on his own gameplay. That could be one of the reasons. But yeah, he's just cracked.
Like half an hour of the day he can now use for Kovacs instead of doing a strat.
True.
I think like if Angel can carry as well as everybody else, you have 5 players here. And some people might not even say Zipan is including that. I think he 100% is, because I think he's crazy good.
Yeah.
If you have 5 players like this who can just carry a game, if they're all firing, I mean, what's stopping them? You know, like, and that attack half on Lotus was, that was just crazy.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
We can also real quick talk about the Team Secret versus Na'Vi match, just real quick. And there I just have to say, holy fucking shit, CNED. I don't know what he's taking, but goddamn, he's hitting those heads.
Yes,
that was
the duo of CNED and Xiao in that game, and especially the fact that Xiao somehow seems to get loads of kills without dying. Like, I don't get it. How has he died 3 times in 17 rounds on Pearl? How? I don't
the main character. That's the thing.
He's just
he's always been the main character.
3 times. I didn't even realize. Oh my god!
You don't get 3. You don't only die 3 times unless like you're literally winning 13-0. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. He just manages to stay alive and get value. Yeah, true. So I think they just played really well, and CNED seems to have fit in. We were questioning it last episode, weren't we? Yeah. Whether he'd fit in as well as Artist did, but right now, at least, we'll have to see in the Leviathan game, which is about to start when we're recording this. But yeah, we'll have to see. But he looks really good still.
Yeah, like maybe regarding Team Secret in that Na'Vi series, I still think like it's pretty early for TS to like challenge a team on the caliber of Na'Vi, and they still even though their stats individually and the map score maybe doesn't suggest it, they got an 8-13 loss on Icebox and then 4-13. They still looked good from the fundamentals. So there's a lot of promise. Like, I don't know, the fundamentals are just there, and they just have to add up on those. And I'm pretty confident if they add more strats, more set plays, and this will come with time and more practice, they can maybe challenge teams like Na'Vi. It doesn't look like they are hopeless or something. It's just the opposite, actually. I think they are promising, but they just need some time. And I think that was a very good learning experience for them going into the match against Liquid and Na'Vi. A lot of confidence is built up. A lot of, found the good mistakes and things which worked good. And if they build up on that with Warbirds, I'm very confident that they may be, booking a ticket.
I also asked CNET about if he recognized any patterns from the past when he faced against Team Secret, or if they were a completely new team. And he said he was actually really surprised about their performance, and they looked way more structured and way better. So he couldn't really use his past knowledge about the team to actually counter them.
Gives me some hope for Liquid, but still.
All right. Should we move on to the next little set of brackets that we've had?
Yeah, I think we could put the Zeta versus Leviathan match pretty simple.
Go for it.
Leviathan good.
Yeah.
This was expected, I'd say.
I think
from all the scrim bugs, it was expected.
Yeah.
Everybody once it got out that they were playing really, really well in scrims and stuff, I think then people started to realize, okay, they'll probably just roll this match. And it was a Mazzino masterclass.
Yeah,
I mean, this guy even just impossible scenarios, he just gets 3 kills, and it's and on top of that they have strats as well.
There was also a ton of matches which King just solely won for the team. King has literally just been the MVP of this entire tournament. I'll be honest. This guy, he doesn't stop clutching.
Yeah,
if we want to talk about the Vitality game as well, that first map.
Absolutely. Oh man.
I saw something that said he was the king of Haven, and he just is.
Yeah, he is. Maybe the thing I gotta add for the Zeta before we move on from the Zeta is I think they lost it in the map vetoes. I don't know how you can let slip Ascent through. I don't know, just South American teams on Ascent are just different. You saw it. Furia did lose against Fnatic, but it still looked very promising. And just generally, I wouldn't touch Ascent versus a team of that caliber. And they paid for it. I don't know, but yeah.
I mean, this is the team that 11-1'd DRX on attack.
Yeah.
And Copenhagen. I still remember that. That was crazy. Yeah. And they still lost that series. But I mean, Zeta looked, they kind of brought it back on Pearl, which was nice to see. But I think it was, they weren't going to beat Leviathan when they're playing like this. So, great showing from them.
Yeah. Vitality GE or left versus
Vitality GE was so sad.
Yeah. I mean, fucking kudos to GE that was a good match. That was a good match.
Yeah.
I was really sad. Match. I was really scared after split that I thought, GE they're just out and they're going to get completely rolled. But they won it. They won it on Pearl. They made the comeback, and then although they didn't win the series, it was still promising. And Texture looked really good. And Monette, actually, off that first map, I was like, oh, he's just not good enough for this. But then, he actually came alive and started pushing random smokes and getting 2 kills. And it was okay, he can actually do this. And I feel like we saw they have potential, which I think is all we needed to see, really.
Yeah.
And overall with Vitality, they gave a good showing. So I like the roster. Molsey looks to be a really good supporting player. I'm not sure his duelist capabilities are at the same level for Tier 1, but overall as a support player, it has been really good, especially on the KO.
I agree. I think my main takeaway basically for this matchup was just the aspect of time that Vitality could build a deeper map pool for Master Freeze series, and they looked good on all the maps they played, and it seemed like GE looked very good on Pearl, and they had ideas of split, but I don't know, Vitality maybe had the good read or know how to treat with how to deal with it. But generally, when GE can work on their map pool, they look promising. A lot of things and also the roles. I was actually worried in the beginning of the GE announcement. We have duelists, they're switching roles, but they look good on the new roles. Rossi looked good at instances on the initiator. Same goes with Buzzy, Aaron. Just generally everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, Aaron is basically the only one who wasn't through a role swap, right?
And then also you got to remember they had a substitute. They had
True.
Buzzy in.
Yeah, last minute kind of.
Yeah.
So
that brings some pretty good promises, I would say.
Yeah, and after seeing Liquid kind of not look so good, you start to think, can these international rosters really work very well? But then we saw this match and it was like, yeah, okay, they work. So proud of global esports.
Yeah,
still
100%.
GE fighting. But obviously Vitality also looked good, and Leviathan were just the goats. They are just the goats.
They are.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this match, man.
Leviathan versus Team Liquid. I'll be honest.
Vitality.
What?
Vitality.
Oh, Vitality. Yeah. I'm brain go. Anyways, this was interesting match to say the least.
It was.
First map overtime. Really good match. I was a fan.
Yes.
There were a lot of issues for Vitality.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean overall this entire match, I kept looking at the players. Everybody was playing well except Destrian. He was so confused half the time of the match. It was a really weird thing to see, how Destrian was playing versus Leviathan. And
maybe it was just in his own head.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
It was just, it seemed like Vitality could have won if Destrian was a little in the same level as he was the day before against Global.
I think that this is the thing though. Even if Vitality win Haven, Leviathan smoked them on Pearl, and then they're sent next. So I'm thinking, even if they lose that map very, very narrowly, they're still winning in overtime other people's best maps. They're still going to win series if they play like this. So yeah, I think they look really good. But Vitality did well.
I think Vitality was very promising in that series, but I honestly think that was a throw on the map picks. I don't know what the map vetoes were. I wrote it in a group chat. There's so many games.
Splits, Vitality ban Icebox, left pick Haven, and Vitality pick Pearl. And then
but the Pearl pick, I think the Pearl pick is low-key troll, given the fact Vitality played Pearl against Leviathan, against Global, against 100 Thieves at Red Bull, against Heretics at Red Bull, against Cloud9. There's so much footage. There's no footage of any team. But for Vitality, there's 6 matches of Pearl with the same composition. They played it on Red Bull home ground. They played it in this tournament.
I guess it's a little bit confidence.
Probably was a comfort pick or something, but they paid the price. They had a good learning experience to I don't know. It's not enough to just go for comfort if you have 6 times a team I don't just said a coach like Onur, he's exposing you for comfort, and he did. But I think Vitality will learn from that and will look stronger in the future, and they look promising.
True.
I think they lived up to my expectations, and I didn't see them win against a team like Leviathan just now, but maybe in the future.
I do think they got to work out getting a clutch player. That's the kind of, because they kept losing very winnable rounds when it was a kind of clutch situation.
Who would you have in mind?
I mean, I already spoke about him. Destrian, he just
who would you have in mind to get?
I would actually I'd go with any aggressive. that would have been funny, but I don't want my man Twiston to be
true,
getting kicked out and all of that.
He's insane.
Twiston is really good, and
he was MVP for Vitality.
He's a really great player. I just feel that it's either it needs a roster change, or they really need to change something up with the roster roles. Destrian just didn't look comfortable on the smokes, I'll be honest. That was just
what was he playing before? Initiator?
I can check it. But
I mean, he was a little bit shopping around, I believe. He was Initiator Sova and a little bit of Fade and all of that. Yeah.
But maybe they're overrating a single elimination thing without any footage to counter strat. If there would be like a good counter strat, like maybe this is where he thrives, right? Does he where he does need to know beforehand what is going to happen so he can like adjust his plays. I don't know, maybe, but yeah, I'm gonna give him a slack for this one because like it's best of one basically or single elimination.
I see what you mean about the Pearl pick.
Yeah,
like that was the only map they lost before this.
Yeah,
they lost it to global. Like you just lost it. Like and you're playing like almost not the next day. It was like 2 days after, wasn't it? So
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like you could just pick Lotus, and which is a map you looked good on against GE, but I don't know. Yeah, I think Leviathan would have.
And also,
anyway,
let's just be honest. Like, holy, King was a clutcher.
Yeah, the last one.
Vitality would have won Haven if it wasn't for King. Like that guy kept winning.
It wasn't even just like clutches. It was like just moments where he would just step up. Like that Guardian 4K at the end of the half. That was just like crazy. And he just like gets that all important round right at the end of the half on a thrifty. Like, yeah.
Just can't stop winning. Just can't.
All right.
I mean, Leviathan might win the entire tournament if like King keeps going at this rate, because like it's insane how many clutches he's won.
I mean, generally, like Leviathan versus Na'Vi, I have the feeling whoever wins that has very good chances of winning. Like,
yeah, I'm kind of scared for Na'Vi now. Actually,
of course,
I think it's 50-50. I think it's literally 50-50. Coin flip. I think
I'll still go with Na'Vi, but it's still man. Leviathan, they can really.
Can you imagine you have Leviathan and I don't know who else, but then you also have Loud in the other bracket as well.
Yes,
the crowd will be crazy.
Oh,
the crowd will be crazy.
Wow. Leviathan versus Loud, goddamn.
I mean, they were even the crowd for like 100 Thieves Foot was still really good.
Yeah,
but which is great and promising for the grand finals and stuff, especially because that's going to be on a weekend as well. But that would be extra if Leviathan were through. So whoever wins, I don't really mind. To be honest,
it's quality teams. Just all of them.
But whoever wins that semi-final, I want them to. No, whoever wins that match, I want them to win the semi-final. And play against Loud or DRX. Anyway,
okay. All right, we should probably
Foot versus
the next couple of part. Yeah, I mean, Foot and RRQ. Like, I was shocked by like RRQ's performance.
Gotta be honest.
That was not a partnership level of performance. I'll be honest. But
when they played a normal comp on Pearl, it wasn't even that bad. But then like on Lotus, playing the Reyna, it just wasn't. What are you doing, man? Like,
I mean, he's the first and currently the only person. Like, MN is the only person who has played Reyna this entire tournament.
And something tells me he will be the only person to play Reyna in this entire tournament.
Yeah. I mean, this was not an interesting match. I'll be honest. This was RRQ got to step up, or else they're gonna be. I mean, honestly, for the regular season,
I don't think that just stepping up is enough. Given the fact how good the other Pacific teams have looked, like all of them, basically, I have seen like only Detonation Gaming looked bad, and everyone else looked good. Like I don't they can fight with Detonation Gaming. I don't want to be I mean, it's pretty brutal to say it, but all the other teams like Talon, Gen G, Zeta, all of them showed more than RRQ and Detonation did, and I'm not sure if just practice is enough.
I mean, did you see the round where Flipstuder just ran through that smoke into 3 people? Like, what? That's not even. That's literally like something I'm seeing in an open qualifier. Like, that's just. Yeah, it was.
This was big question marks.
And they still ended up 11-7 against Foot somehow.
Yeah, on the second map.
But also, like, respect to Foot. Foot has
true.
Pretty much like blown my expectations.
Me too. Yeah, I agree.
I think Turkey actually have a chance in the EMEA League, which going in before lock-in, we might have said whether
BBL also know why they're here. So it's just like
I mean
Pretty
BBL, I feel like if any of these like decent looking teams who went out in the first round had RRQ, they'd just get through to second round, freebie.
Yeah.
So
the big takeaway is like all the Turkish Jets and Neon, they just hit different on LAN. Like, I mean, we had Kiwi, we had CNET, and we had for BBL it was Kushner? Was it Kushner? Yeah, all of them did just they're correct online and they're correct on LAN apparently. Like all three of them, like they had very good series. And I mean Kiwi, like I don't know if we go on in the bracket against 100 Thieves. It's the second up in the bracket.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, wait, we would have 100 Thieves versus Edward before. Maybe we shouldn't skip that one. But yeah, just Kiwi. Yeah. Difference maker, I think. But like, let's go on with the 100 Thieves versus EDG one. Before we go,
that was a scary map. I'll be honest. That was
when they won the 2v5, I was like, they're gonna do it, and then they didn't do it. Oh.
It was a fun match, and it was scary as hell. Like, they kept winning against each other, and like, you don't want 100 Thieves to lose, you don't want Edward to lose, and they all gave it their all. To be honest, this was a really good match.
That was a very good match.
I think any like 3-map series where the last map goes to overtime, it's just a banger. It's just a banger.
Yeah.
And like Cryo Omen. How does it work? I wasn't expecting that.
I think we're going to enter a meta soon where the smoked players are just playing ops. Because like not just because of this match, but also Nivera was doing it.
Yep.
And you can't like sometimes your Jet has to be there for something else, or you're not playing a Jet, you're playing a Raze, or you're playing a Neon. You know, like, and in the absence of a duelist, the smokes role makes the most sense because you can, you know, kind of watch flank and stay further back and hold those long sight lines in a post plant and stuff like that. So I think it would be interesting to see that happen. And he played well on Omen, but I mean, he's just a great player. So
yeah,
makes sense.
Okay. Foot versus 100 Thieves.
Okay,
again,
can I say
another
something?
Scary match.
Yeah, can I say something about that? I said it before we started the podcast, but I don't know if 100 Thieves is fumbling and like not looking good, or Foot is insane. I don't know. Like right now, I'm not convinced on 100 Thieves so far in this tournament. I don't know what it is, but like every match they played, I mean, EDG and Foot, they have proven to be good teams, but I expected a little bit more from 100 Thieves, and they've been pushed to the edge twice in a row. I think today against Fnatic, they have a good chance of like redeeming themselves and proving, those teams been good and we are good too. But I kind of got a feeling from that series, 100 Thieves has to step like something up in order to like beat a team like Fnatic. But overall, I wanted to talk about Kiwi because what he put out on Lotus was just insane. 31 kills, 376 ACS. He's just running it down, hitting the shots, carrying it like, I don't know. I just saw a quote of Asuna saying, I didn't even know I could peak that fast in the one round where Kiwi was just running it down, just insta headshots him. Like, this guy is
Turkish
crazy.
Player diff.
Actually. I think that Foot match was a combination of Foot were having a very good game, especially Kiwi, obviously, on that first map, but also, you know, Q-Rex and he was playing really well as well. 100 Thieves looked slightly jittery with the crowd in both games, I think. And they're quite a young team, so, I mean, it's to be expected. But I think if EDG played against Foot, I think EDG would have won on like a normal day, but I don't know if that's true. I think...
Hey, breaking news. The Oni skin has been revealed.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
You can send it to me, and we're gonna.
The Vandal looks good.
We show it after we are done with the brackets. You can just put it in the Discord, and we're gonna show it after the bracket. Okay.
Oh, I am excited for this. I am going to cop. I am going broke at this point.
Nice.
Broke dork. It is time.
But yeah, I agree. Would be your point like if 100 okay, let's say 100 Thieves and EDG would have faced in that part of the bracket, like after both teams had gone through one match on LAN.
You think such a banger game?
You think EDG would have won maybe with like getting out the first match jitters maybe, perhaps? Or you think, I mean, it still would probably be a 50-50 like the last game, right? It could be anyone's game.
Yeah, I think it's a coin flip still. Also, highlight for 100 Thieves in both series. Stella, man, this guy's been playing so well. He's like, I mean, we talked about King playing well from an IGL position. Obviously, Stella's not been on that same level, I don't think, but he's still been crazy good. Pulling them through some of these rounds. So
I think he won them this series.
Then he 100% did. 100%.
I think on Haven, right? On Haven, he won some rounds where, like, if it wouldn't for those rounds, Foot would have closed the series. I don't know, just from my gut feeling. I feel like Stellars, like clutches and like some plays he did, amazing. And his calling was good. You could just see it. Like especially on Icebox, I think, where they 8-13 against Foot, their calling was on point. They just felt comfortable.
Yeah, definitely.
So Sentinels versus Fnatic.
You know what's funny about this game? I made a whole video about it, about why you should watch it, and I didn't watch it. I wasn't at home.
Oh,
so I couldn't watch it.
You couldn't watch it yourself.
No.
That's jokes. That is jokes.
So I didn't actually watch it.
This match,
can't
it was
comment.
unwatchable.
Yeah, you want to
What,
sum
from
it
the
up,
production?
Bo? You can just it was actually production was.
I mean, you could literally put like Vine boom sounds on it the entire time, and it would have been like enjoyable. But like overall, we couldn't see that much from the gameplay and all of that because like it kept fucking going everywhere.
Yeah, true.
But like this was a questionable match for Sentinels.
Mm-hmm.
I expected more from them. Tens looked good, but I'm surprised by the fact that they put Tens on duelists.
You're surprised that they put him on duelist, or you're surprised they put him on
Yeah,
Sage?
I mean, like he was mostly focusing on like initiator and all of that, and like I do think that like his jet is better than Zekin's. But also like Zekin's breach didn't look like it was like well implemented.
I think Zekin's. Zekin's raise is better than Tenz's raise, but I think Tenz's jet is better than Zekin's jet. So
they separated exactly like this, right? Zekin was playing the raise on split and Tenz the jet on Haven. But my feeling was like this was a very hard test against Fnatic, and it was way too early for Sentinels. Like they were not ready. Fnatic just was so much better.
I was kind of like, I keep looking on this, and Zekin just didn't really feel that comfortable, and it must have something to do with the crowd.
Probably.
So
I mean but he played with the crowd in Turkey.
But they also
true.
Did they?
Yeah. As Axe said,
because they made it to playoffs
and against FPX where the crowd was against them actually. So Zekin has actually
won, and Fnatic when it was even more against them because of Althea.
Yeah, okay.
And they won 2-0. So maybe it's just the system that they're not quite fully solidified yet. But I trust that they will be able
questionable, that's at least for sure.
I mean, also if we go on Haven for like just quickly onto the Haven rush, for example, what Fnatic would do was just setting up the pace, not allowing Sentinels to control anything of the pace and how the match will be played. Fnatic was dictating what we're going to do. And this was what we were seeing from Furia on the next match we will talk about in a sec, where Furia found an answer onto how they can like dictate the speed, even though Fnatic wants to do it. And like Sentinels couldn't find an answer within the regular time, and the strat, or like the plan beforehand, wasn't there. So Fnatic just ran away with that map. Similar things happened on Split. I think Sentinels looked slightly better on Split, but just generally Fnatic was just ready.
Yeah, and like
also
the thing
individually.
You kept seeing Boaster like kind of going into his micromanaging mode, and they didn't utilize that against him. That's for sure.
Yeah. And also some heroics by Alpha. Yeah, I remember this one scene on like on Split where he just 1v4 like hold the side, anchor it, and you're like, okay, what are you supposed to do if Alpha is just hitting like 4 nasty one taps? Like, I mean, it's
can't
just
stop
over.
him.
Yeah, you can't stop him.
That is what is so promising for Fnatic, in my opinion.
Yes.
If they have Althea, Leo, and Chronicle, right? Who are now Althea is added to my list of some of the most flexible players in the world.
Yeah.
Right? Althea went from he was playing Jet on his tier 2 Turkish team.
I mean, he was also playing Sentinel for a while.
But he was and then he went to he played everything else in Champions. And then now he's back playing, only Killjoy, only Cypher, and he looks so good.
Yes.
And obviously, and Leo and Chronicle, thank goodness, both look incredible, especially Chronicle.
Yeah, Leo as well, man. Oh my god, this guy's aware of everything.
He's the best Sova in the world.
Here's the thing. Like, Alpha was also always playing Sentinel on Surreal, the team he was on before Fnatic. So it makes sense that he was comfortable on there. And he only really played Raze for Surreal because Mazik was taking care of Chamber and Jet.
But he also did it for Fnatic convincingly.
Yeah.
convincingly. Not just like I feel raised, but he looked very good. Like even so good that at times you were thinking like, who do they gonna play on the race? Durka or Alpha? Yeah, both look cracked on it. So and now he's back on the Sentinel, and I was actually like a bit worried if he's like too aggro, because like switching from a duelist Neon like Neon race at Champions to I'm gonna play Cypher Killjoy, and it looks amazing, and his shots are still crisp. I don't know, Alpha Harris. I don't know. Like Fnatic is one of those teams where you have the feeling it doesn't matter who is the last alive, they can clutch it, and this is something, which is scary.
Yeah. Even Boaster on an individual level as well has leveled up, I think. The way against Sentinels on Haven, he was just pushing up A long, like, and he was just you were confident that he could actually get 1 or 2 kills, whereas before you'd be like, you know. But now he's using that Reaver Phantom. He's got the crispy. He's looking crispy.
It do be working.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right. So next up, disappointment. One versus Furia. No, I'm.
I don't know what is worse, Liquid or T1, and I was
T1
high on both.
I mean,
T1 Bedge.
Okay.
T1 Bedge.
T1 was a communication fiesta, I'll be honest. There were so many rounds that like you could clearly see it was a communication issue, and I guess it's because of Ban not being fluent in Korean that they have to like communicate in English.
Do they?
Are they talking in English?
I believe they're doing like some sort of 50-50, as far as I know. You can also see, if you look at their behind the scenes of like making their video for lock-in, you can also hear like they kept switching to English. So it's
interesting.
It's an interesting roster, that's for sure. One thing that I am happy for is Carpe looked good.
I agree.
Yep.
So that was my takeaway from this match from T1. And for the rest of it, it looked questionable, and I hope that they step up because I still have this roster really highly regarded. And yeah,
really,
I'm still on the T1 hopium. That's the thing.
Wow.
I think I really highly rate Sire player. I think watching the Ludwig Tarek Invitational. And watching this match, it's clear that Carpe looks more comfortable.
Yeah.
But the rest of the team somehow doesn't. They look less comfortable. I don't know.
It was I
don't know.
Let's just say it was LAN jitters, okay?
Yeah, let's just keep it at LAN jitters and
Carpe, the classic LAN jitters for Carpe.
I mean, he didn't. He looked. I think he was the only. He was the only player who. Yeah, I think he was the only one who didn't look like he had any LAN jitters. Like he was performing solid. Yeah.
Like Ban is the only one who hasn't been to a LAN.
For whatever reason,
Because Zeta and Munchkin side player all been to a LAN.
Also, I gotta give it to Furia. Like Furia looks, they look so good. Like I don't know,
respect,
like,
man.
Yeah, especially in the next series we're gonna talk about. Like Furia just looks on fire. The home crowd, actually, the crowd was like, I don't know, it was amazing for that series. A lot of Furia fans. I think like probably all the seats were booked out, and the atmosphere was there, and everything was like hyped. Even the first kill, like every kill on the pistol round, the crowd would cheer, and like I don't know, it was a big crowd buff for Furia, and they played.
But don't forget
Valorant.
Don't forget, they made a mistake again.
Which one?
The technical pause. The bug.
Oh yeah. Oh, for a second.
That was an interesting situation.
There's always something with Brazilian teams.
And yet they won. So that's
they pushed through it. So respect.
Yeah. I mean, you could see like after that round happened, like T1 started winning a bunch of matches, but then they suddenly like started picking up again, and they looked good.
Yeah, that was for me the test for Furia, kind of. I was like, okay, when they can like come out of this situation, like being maybe frustrated because again we lose a round, or the opponents they get around, and we have like this buck abuse. I don't even know. It wasn't even buck abuse. It was just like a molly which was placed in an illegal spot, and they didn't even use it. But it doesn't matter. I understand. But if they can come out of this situation, I was very confident that Furia can run away with it, and they did in a convincing fashion, and they kept going into the match of Fnatic versus Furia.
Yeah, that match was crazy, especially the first map. I was watching it and I was just like, "Is this ever going to end?" I think it didn't. Once again, it's like promising Fnatic brought it as far as they did. promising that they won with the crowd against them.
Yeah.
You know,
That does
and
show a lot.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of people saying that last year they would have lost that match. You know, if they still had Mystic and Enzo, and maybe
probably.
Boaster hadn't. Yeah, they just probably
like clear firepower. Yeah, definitely.
So respect to them and respect to Furia. It was a great game to actually watch.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't just a blowout.
Yeah, and especially like Bo was like was like not happy with the comms in the Omega bracket. They've been all sleeping, but then we saw like a Harbor and Viper on Haven, which that was actually very interesting to see with all the pockets they built, like they created with the Harbor High Tide and with the Viper Wall. I mean, very interesting to see, and very interesting to see how Fnatic could solve this. But yeah,
Omega bracket was Bedge.
I think it was cool.
It was not Bedge, bro.
No,
We've had some of the best. We've had some of the best maps like in the whole tournament. Like Lev versus Vitality. You know, you had like EDG versus 100 Thieves banger series. Like
recency
even
bias.
though Sentinels Fnatic.
Oh come on! About
like...
an 18-16 overtime, with like individual plays by both teams, and like I mean. Holy shit, like Quick had up his Viper, like his ultimate, like I think 4 times in OT. It was so, I was like, how are you going to retake against the Viper's pit on site on Haven? And they didn't. Like they couldn't solve it.
This was the only, there were no upsets in the alpha bracket. There was not a single match where you would say that was a clear upset. Maybe apart from C9 Paper Eggs because of the way it happened.
I mean,
but you had Liquid Secret here, which was actually like a hype upset. You know, it was like maybe not hype, you know, if you're a Liquid fan, but you know, it was an actual upset, and you had close ones with EDG and Foot. So I think a mega bracket was cool. I know Bo only cares about Asian comps, but
I'm.
let's just
move on. Let's just move on.
We'll have to see these next 2 games. And by the way, for anyone watching this, when it's released, obviously the next match will have happened. But we're recording this before Na'Vi, Leviathan, and 100 Thieves Fnatic.
Yes.
So hopefully those games were bangers. If you're watching this, you know, when it comes out. So yeah, that was
all right.
And
should we just real quick do predictions?
Or? Yeah,
I guess
those matches. What do you guys think? Who do you think is going through? Na'Vi, Leviathan, Bangovic. Who have you got for that?
It's as close as it could be, but as an EMEA diehard, I'm gonna go with Na'Vi. I hope Doom Bros can just go through and even win the entire thing. I'm rooting for Na'Vi here, but honestly, Leviathan looks so good. The Scrimbucks is like they already shown that the Scrimbucks isn't like just talks on the street, but actually the reality. So Leviathan has very good chances of winning that. It's a 50-50 in theory, but I'm going with Na'Vi just because I'm EMEA biased. Gonna be honest.
Yeah, I'll also go with Na'Vi. So it's just Na'Vi just looked too good. Leviathan, they had to like live off of King's Clutch's love times.
I have a new way of predicting matches.
Okay.
Where I go off who I can visualize tweeting about losing more.
I love it.
Right now I can kind of see the Angel tweets and like the Sugetsu tweet, like 0-2 versus or 1-2 versus Leviathan. They played really well. Like see you in a few weeks or something. I can see that way more than I can see any of the Leviathan tweets. So I'm going with Leviathan. I've said it like 8 different ways, but yeah, I'm going with them.
All right. Okay. This video comes out tomorrow, so we'll know who has jinxed who.
We'll see. Yeah.
Just wait for the tweets, man. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we're gonna wait for it. Fnatic versus 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves. Who's gonna win it?
Fnatic. Don't cook.
Okay. Here's the thing. I'm going to choose which team with the help of my 2 jerseys over there. Because actually, ironically enough, I have a Fnatic jersey, or not really see, it's a jacket, and the 100 Thieves jersey.
All right.
So here's my opinion, and it's pretty simple. You guys are probably already gonna guess it, but
how are we supposed to guess? Okay, he's going towards it. Okay, all the listeners, he picked up the Fnatic jacket. He's walking towards his PC. There he is.
100 Thieves.
What
And
on
the
earth?
the only reason for that is
Oh my god.
Boaster hasn't signed my jacket, and I'm disappointed.
Okay, that's fair to say. I mean, a reasonable argument. I think that's fair to
I
say.
have all signatures from the Fnatic players in Copenhagen except Boaster, because he kept running away, of that.
Reasonable argument, but I know that Bangovic is going to pick Fnatic as an EMEA frog.
Actually true. I do, but
So-
honestly, the reasoning behind it is not even that much that I'm just an EMEA fanboy, but more that 100 Thieves didn't convince me so far. In 2 series, they looked a bit shaky, not that well prepared. I don't know, they was missing something. If they find this element today, they can win it. But if they don't, Fnatic gonna expose them. That's the feeling I got just from the last 2 series of both teams.
Yeah.
Fnatic just looks hotter. And that's where I'm going with Fnatic just looks better right now. And 100 Thieves has to step it up, and let's see if they can do it.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Okay.
All
I think
right.
that's all for lock-in, unless we're forgetting anything. So let's move on to the classic tier 2 talking about
Yeah.
challenges.
Yes, sir.
So we're gonna keep this very
Not many matches have been played, so it's not like we're
Yeah,
recapping
not really.
much, but there are matches to come. So maybe we'll start with Polaris, which is close to home
Yeah.
for Bo, and tell us about what's going on in Polaris over the
I
next few
mean,
days.
we had quite the upset. And I believe it was also on the day we were recording or something like that. But Les Petits Bouffons won against Apex, which is quite the upset. And when you look at the scoreboard, it was even wilder. So amazing work from Lozo and the guys. They are amazing people, and they have to be signed at this point, please. I beg of you.
Yes, man.
They're
Link
at
still
the top
has it
right now. Yeah, Link is that man. He's got that dog in him. It's
I think when a team clearly has a chance to go to the Ascension LAN tournament, I think you gotta take a chance on them.
Yeah. So really good performance, and tomorrow it's going to be the decider of who gets the playoffs. So basically, Hookars are going to get to playoffs. That's just how it's gonna go. Vominos is going to win against HS Deer, and Hookars is going to win against Bonk. That's it. All right.
All right.
All right.
We'll trust you on that.
Yeah, we trust you
definitely.
on that.
Definitely. And
so Hookars have a chance. They have a chance.
And regarding the human tripwire stuff and all that, there are teams I'm pretty sure every single free agent team is right now going around trialing with other teams while they are still competing. And that just goes to show that we need organizations here really badly. So it's we are a little bit down bad, that's for sure.
That's for sure.
When it comes for the players. But I have heard that better things are coming for Split 2, so I am overall excited for that. But it'll be interesting to see how many rosters actually stick together and how many don't.
Also, I don't know why teams keep doing this, but Leviathan are starting on Ascent attack again against Navi.
Oh no.
No way.
Ascent Fracture, and then I think the last map will probably be Icebox, maybe? No, last map is whatever the other one is, not Icebox. Pearl. So Ascent Fracture Pearl. So yeah.
And today, the challengers are also starting for NA. But which other matches were there? There was also
Korea, right? The playoffs.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. D+, amazingly enough,
somehow won that out.
Yeah, I mean that was compared to the start of the season, they look way better.
Yes.
So I am impressed.
Me too.
That's for sure.
I was kind of rooting for Real Company actually in that grand final.
Yeah.
But all respect to D+ for making the run, and Luckier, he's made it back.
The redemption arc. It's amazing to see, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really nice to see.
Even how dominant that grand finals was.
Yes,
that was
the 3-0.
Quite
3-13, 9-13, and 6-13. That's actually very convincing.
That is a convincing win.
Yeah.
So
And we got to consider like D Plus played in the lower bracket against Maru Gaming, a best of 5, which went all the way. So like I would say like if they're fatigued, like I think definitely like Rio Company had an advantage going into that series, having to see like D Plus play on 5 maps just shortly before that.
The reverse sweep as well.
Yeah, the reverse sweep as well. So they come out of the reverse sweep into the grand final and took all the momentum and just tear apart Rio Company. Like what an amazing comeback by D Plus.
I didn't realize they were now. I messed up my words. I didn't realize they were down 9-2 on Icebox and came back to win 15-13. I didn't realize that. Oh my goodness! I didn't watch that series, but it sounds like a giga banger, bro. It sounds like a giga banger. I should have done. And then in the final map, they win 11 in a row. Oh my! Yeah, I should have watched
then
it.
there's also the match like in Portugal between the two like top teams like SAW and GTC, and that was a pretty good match. I'll be honest. There was a lot of good rounds there.
The upper final?
That was the upper final. That was a fun match to watch. Definitely would recommend it. And just seeing like SAW coming back from a 6-13.
Yeah.
That was really like a good match to watch.
Yeah, then OT on Lotus, and then bringing it back
then
to 13-5.
That just cements them as like the best Portuguese team right now. And I mean, the rest of like the lineup here in Portugal has just been sleeper. I'll be honest. They just have not been interesting at all.
But I think as long as the regions have 1 or 2 competitive teams, when they get to the Ascension LAN tournament, I think that is the most important thing, right?
Yeah, true. So, anything else? Let's see. I'm trying to go back. There we go. There was also, the final teams for playoffs for France have been revealed, which is SBG, Mandatory, Zarens, Wild, Valiant, and Job Life. And I mean, like SBG, it's between SBG, Mandatory, and Wild. The other teams, I'm not sure are going to like give quite a punch.
Some known names on SBG, right? Natang was on Vitality. Taka S, I think, was on K Corp, right?
Yeah, K Corp.
Yeah.
And Whalers is a former Call of Duty pro.
Oh.
And Logan was previously from Team BDS, and Bayas was from like what was that now again? Mega Institute.
Wait, they've been playing with a stand-in.
Yeah,
they're playing with the Apo. Yeah, I'm just looking at that.
Takas is taking a break for like injury, I believe.
But he seems to be back now. He's played the last 2 games.
Yeah.
So
all
and looking up for SBG.
Wild. I'll be honest. Like Wild looks wild, bro. They look wild. Pretty good matches. They fumble sometimes, but it's also a very new roster with some young players. So like Hero looks really good. Hype, of course, always looks good. So and Magic, he does some magic, that's for sure. That's quite some magic power he has.
I mean, it all comes down to the playoffs, right? Which team can pull it through, because it gives so many points. Like D Plus, they were able to just cope under the pressure more than the other teams. So that's what it comes down to.
True.
So yeah, and we've got some matches coming up this week. We've talked about Polaris already, but the main ones, I think,
again, if like I'm just saying,
we've got NA challenges, which are kind of starting back up at this point. Tonight, as of recording this, is the Guard TSM and Moist Esports versus Turtle True. And these work well into our next 2 topics. So I think let's talk about the Guard first of all.
Okay, let's start off with the cat out of the bag.
Some big news about the Guard this week. That they've laid off almost all of their content, management, almost every employee from the company. Now there was a lot of wondering whether they'd lay off their teams as well, but they're keeping almost all of them, apart from I think COD and Overwatch. Once they found buyers for those teams.
I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing with the guard. They're kind of keeping him for now.
Yeah.
So, but the players are allowed to like look for offers and all of that. So,
Oh man,
it's
which is so incredibly sad.
I
as
mean,
a guard fan.
the thing is, like, Kronk, like the company behind it, they burst the bubble. They burst the bubble of esports. So now we're going down. That's for sure. It is going extremely down now. I already know a few. Like, I've already heard multiple rumors about a few investors, like big esports investors, looking to dip out. Because Kronk is dipping fully out. Like every single team, they are just dropping out now.
Not just the Valorant, but like
I did see something about how it might not be as bad as we think, because there's been a lot of layoffs in terms of the entire tech sector.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, when an entire company, and especially if it's
in one day.
Yeah, and especially it being funded by Kronk, just dying in one day, that is a bad example, and that is going to scare investors a lot. So I feel like we're going down a recession for esports right now. So if you don't think you have any potential in the, right now in esports, go get a job. All right, it's as simple as that. Sadly, sometimes you've gotta like wait out your dream and come back later on,
because there's no doubt it will like be growing.
I mean, like, esports will be back and everything. But right now we are going into a recession. Don't know how long it's going to take.
Yeah.
But it's definitely going to affect a bunch of teams. That's for sure.
That is for sure. Also, especially like talking about the guard, it's a bit sad because I think the organization and the team, it's been so promising. Everything, like the social media, it looks good. The promotion, the merch, the team, they're just like, it was so fun. Everything around the guard, like, I don't know, just with the success they had on LAN and everything, this young roster, believing in the roster in tier 2, and now looking like the most promising one to make it through the ascension to the franchising. And I remember a lot of comments under like when the franchise got announced, and they're like, the guard is not in franchising. Well, here you go. Now we know why, because apparently the information provided to Riot was enough for them to realize, well, we don't know how long the guard going to be around.
Yeah, it's also like the whole thing about the guard being quite a new esport organization. Like, Kronk has had like their like Los Angeles Gorillas and Gladiators in Overwatch League and CDL, but they never really ventured into other scenes. And like overall, from what I heard, like the management was good and all of that, and everybody was happy to work there. There was no complaint about working at the guard because like everything was covered. And then when they were let go, they were given no help at all.
Yeah. I think that's the thing that's really disappointing. I understand if you need to lay people off, right?
Yes.
And at 100 Thieves, this whole thing kind of happened, but then it was made clear that 100 Thieves helped them with their, moving on and trying to get other jobs. But with the guard, it was literally, apparently it was at lunchtime, literally it was a whole company-wide meeting at lunchtime, and it was like, you're all fired. I was like,
it's
very sad
disappointing, and it's just extremely sad.
But what happens if like they play under the guard until like, I don't know, somebody else buys them out? I don't know who it would be, but somebody else buys them out of the Ascension, like just before the Ascension tournament. They get to franchising, then the guard just lost out. But
here's the thing: I'm pretty sure that like if the guard wins Ascension, like it keeps this roster and everything, they won't be accepted.
But like, how can you just like not accept the team though?
Here's the thing: you can here's from what I heard, it's the roster that gets accepted through Ascension. It's not the organization. So for example, let's say that like Riot does not approve a certain organization because they have issues, which could be, of course, an issue in the future. They could just decline it and try to offer that roster like another organization that they maybe had on their short list, because like Riot still has a list of teams that nearly made it to partnership.
Yeah. I thought you meant like they just wouldn't let the team like go there, but as long as it's like the players like are being allowed, then it's fine. Like
it's the team that like gets the spot.
Yeah, I think that's the important thing.
Yeah.
So then an org can't just go in and then just change all their players,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The players
So
will
I
remain.
think
The players
that's-
will have a fair chance. Still think even without like maybe if there's less support from the guard now towards the players, I think they still have everything they need to succeed and go through and perhaps win Ascension. And this roster looks so promising. Like honestly, I don't think they have any issues to find an orc. Like there will be a lot of orcs on the list, like to pick up such a promising team. Like I think from all the rosters, like we saw with Breakthrough now getting signed in other teams, and like how hard it is to find actually like an organization to sign a roster, I think the guard should not have like any issues. This roster is just.
I mean,
if you have the opportunity, someone will take it.
You could very easily see an organization like Optic return to Valorant just by just acquiring
That would
like
be
the
like-
guard roster and just easily going into Ascension.
That would be
would
like
be-
the because like Optic were like the team that like, always against the guard. They were always like I had a bit of a rivalry with my friend who supported Optic at the time. So for me, that would be like
That would be a crazy storyline, wouldn't be?
Which
Oh
other
my God.
organizations are still left that like are extremely big but haven't been accepted or like any of that?
I think it's not a hot take to say that I could see a world where G2 drops their roster just to pick up the guard if they make it. Like it's
mean,
G2 after all. They're
oh.
cruel.
Business wise, that would be a
It's-
good decision.
It's G2. They are known for doing doing
Can you
everything
imagine if they
to
drop
win.
them and then G2 like beat the guard, like get into the Ascension tournament?
They should
Or
do it
any
after
other
the
night.
yeah.
Funny.
I mean, I could see a world
Maybe
where this happens.
a little bit
I don't know.
after.
Yeah. Who knows?
But speaking of promising esports orgs,
Yes.
we've had a new one enter Valorant, and I think this is very, very promising for the scene. Moist Esports have signed the Breakthrough team in Tier 2 NA.
Anyone feeling moist right now? I am feeling wet.
Okay.
Extremely moisty at this point.
Uh,
I love Moist Esports. I'll be honest, it's such a good name because like you keep seeing it on different players, and like not Rainbow, in Rocket League they have a player named Juicy. So literally, his name is Moist Juicy.
Actually, that's
Amazing.
goated. That is goated.
And then there's Thief. Think about Thief. Moist Thief. That is just
the roster will run under the name of Moist Moguls for
Moguls,
Valorant.
yeah.
It's MXM as the short version of it. Yeah.
I
mean, just keep it at Moist. I'll be honest. It's just
think that's what people will call them. I think.
Yeah, they will call Moist.
So I think this is a really good thing for Valorant. Even just like having
more
that
orgs in
huge-
NA. Woo.
Yeah.
more orgs, but also more fans. I
Woo.
mean, the amount of
Yeah.
fans that Moist brings is like because
That's
he
true.
watches every game, like
Yeah.
and Ludwig as well. I imagine will watch party all the games. So
EMEA's gonna die out.
yeah.
We're fucked.
honestly, I think Valorant.
Sorry guys.
CS
Sorry,
has
guys.
become EMEA game. I think Valorant will become the NA game.
Maybe.
I think it will be like split between CS will just EMEA will just play CS and then NA will just play Valorant. That wouldn't surprise me if that did happen, but we'll have to see. But interesting, and also this Breakthrough team, I actually think could do something.
Yeah.
If they have the support, then and they kind of make maybe one or two changes over the course of the season, depending on how they perform, like in the mid-season invitational, if they get through and stuff. I could really see them. I could see them doing well. Especially if Brock and a Proto like keep playing at that level, and Sim's been playing well, and Flyer, and all their teams been doing well. So I would love to see them. I'd love to see them do well under the Moist banner.
And considering they like had so much success so far without any support, right? Like they just did it on their own. It's very impressive. So I like having an org actually giving them salaries and like maybe provide them some sort of assistant to organize boot camps and everything. There can only be a way up, right? I don't think the team will get worse. It can
I
only
now
be good.
just want Moist Esports to win Ascension.
Why? What's the reason?
Because if they got into franchising, that would just be crazy.
Would be funny. That's my entire reasoning. Like, imagine Moist Esports just being there, like among all the other top teams, and people like invest. Here's the thing about Moist Esports: people get so confused when they look at the list on like Rocket League and all of that. And when Moist Esports won like the RLCS, people are so confused. Like, there's an organization called Moist.
But I mean, this is the thing, right? We say that now, but in a few years, Carmine Core is a content creator-led org. Loud is as well.
Loud is,
orgs are the future.
Koi is,
Yeah. I mean,
Heretics is. I mean, most of the orgs basically nowadays are content creator ren orgs.
So I would, I think it would be really interesting to see them get into franchising and playing with, can you imagine Moist Esports versus Sentinels? Like, that would be like just a crazy matchup. Like,
would be.
Oh man, Moist versus Loud.
So yeah, very promising pickup, I think.
I think so.
I think it has also been reported that like TSM has like finalized signing Konpeki. Apparently, like Hazed has like fully given up at this point. So
this is
sadly, it's very sad. I don't get it. Was it Hayes' decision to leave?
I believe so, because from what I heard, it was it basically seemed like from the people that I kept talking to, it was like Hayes' decision.
Wow.
And not really like TSM's decision. So I'm interested to see how Eng can like control this roster and how he can like bring it up to the top, because there are a bunch of question marks. And also yay TSM.
That's not happening. It's not happening. That is just not happening.
Low-key. Okay, let's talk about that later.
That's not yet.
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention also, if TSM is falling apart, that means the Guard and Disguised have more chance of getting through to the playoffs. So Dub.
And then there's also Mad Lions. Mad Lions probably made the worst roster decision, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
This is not.
So who are they signing again? Just remind me.
It has been leaked, and like I can also confirm that currently it seems like a player who has like 6 matches on VLR is going to join Mad Lions. Narrate, his name is. I believe from what I've heard, he has history in CS, which is a good thing, and he looked all right in the matches that he has played. I'm just kind of like, I'm not feeling like Mad Lions made the good decision with this roster.
So are they dropping Will?
Yeah, they're dropping Will.
No,
that is. I mean, I don't know the internal situation on the team, but Will is like, he's played at Champions and now he's getting dropped by Mad Lions. Like, there's levels like to this.
No, that doesn't make sense. And was he performing bad? I don't think so. Did he?
No, I don't think so.
I mean,
I don't think so.
It may be like the thing about him. Something that you keep seeing about Will is like he is a very passive duelist player.
I mean,
so like you need to really pressure him to like go push that kind of stuff. I feel
like, but even like duelist players who have like, I mean, he's played on the international stage. I feel like you can, if he's a passive duelist, he can play Sentinel, or he can play, Initiator, and I get maybe Mad Lions need a duelist, so that's why they're doing this. But I think to fall from that height it's kind of crazy.
It is, yeah.
So Mad Lions, big question mark. I don't see them getting far with how it is right now. I've always been questioning like Dark Ratio overall.
We'll have to see how it pans out, but I don't see them getting through that group.
Yeah, nope. And then something about and then Shopify Rebellion, according to Purist, has signed T-Dog as a 6th player. Probably
that
not
guy's done very well for himself. He's done very well for himself. I can't lie. Like he's turned all of that like crypto betting, like scamming stuff, and he's got a spot on a challengers team. So fair enough to him.
Making moves, that's for sure.
Yeah, fair enough to him. I really enjoyed his expose videos. They were so funny.
Those were very interesting situations. But yeah, I believe we spoke about everything regarding NA.
That's kind of happened.
Yeah.
So
which
not quite everything regarding NA. Because there's been some rumblings, except they're not really rumblings because it's practically confirmed that Ye has left Cloud9. Now, I don't know about you, that's crazy.
Yeah.
No, bro. This is total. This makes sense 100%. This is not crazy. I mean, this is. You could have expected this.
We don't know the internal situations of any teams.
I mean,
and that is a disclaimer.
I've got two feelings right now. My two feelings is it's either has to do. Maybe it might be both. Either it's Ye not feeling comfortable on this team, because like it kind of felt like he wasn't really vibing with them. Or it's financially, because like Ye is getting paid the big bucks. This guy is getting paid absolutely massive amounts of money. Yeah. So I kind of feel like it's either between like Ye not feeling comfortable on the team and Cloud9 in financial troubles, so they have to like let go of one of their most expensive players.
Must be, yeah.
It has to be between those two lines. But then there's another question, and that's it being rumored that Vanity might be gone as well.
Yeah. That's crazy. Is Vanity on a high contract? I mean, he was on the C9 before.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he wasn't bought out or anything. He was on the team before. He
was bought out. Like he was bought by like version 1.
Yeah,
sold
back then.
To Cloud9. Yeah.
Yeah, but still, it was like a rather older contract. I don't like. I mean, I maybe he has a like high contract, but on a different level or different scale than Ye, for example. And I when I saw that news, I was shocked. I was feeling bad for Ye as well.
I feel like this decision might be like something with the team.
Honestly,
this does not look like a performance reason.
No, that's for sure. It's definitely not a performance issue. It's 100% either like some personal issues on the team where they're like, okay, we don't mesh together, or it's
But here's the problem. Who the hell do you get to replace those two?
I mean,
is it maybe it's time for Cooper to actually play?
Maybe
it's time. Maybe he will be better. Who knows?
Let's be honest.
Apparently, they're trialing Marved to replace Ye. And I guess you put Leaf on Jet every game.
Yeah, that just means like Leaf is going back on Jet and Marved is gonna play Sentinel.
But suddenly, when Ye leaves, you then have, let's say you have Leaf, Zeppa, Zelsis, and if Vanity's gone as well, you know, the highest of highs that those guys achieved was at Champions going out in the
against Liquid in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that was 2021.
Yes.
And in 2022 they didn't really do very much. And then suddenly it's like, wait, this team is not that great in comparison to like a lot of the other NA teams in terms of just player caliber, unless they can like come back and prove themselves. And I think they played well at lock-in. But without Vanity there, who's IGL'd them for so long, I don't know. I think it's very odd.
Let's just go by the fact they get Marved. Okay, let's say they get Marved. But if they drop Vanity, like I don't understand which IGL is on the market.
Super time.
And, like there's no IGL you can get on the market. And if you go for an IGL which is under a contract, you still have to throw it back at him, right? So if we talk about like financial struggles on C9, dropping your IGL
Cloud9 hazed.
Oh my god. I mean, that's not an upgrade to Vanity.
If hazed got to
I like hazed, but that's not an upgrade.
If hazed got into partnerships from here, like fair enough to him. Like he's securing the bag.
Cloud9 T-Doc.
but honestly, like this is like
I'm pretty sure if they can maybe try to get Valen, I could see Vanity going. But if they can't get Valen, then I can see Vanity just staying because like they don't have anything else.
Okay, but imagine you're a player, you're a player, and you get approached by Cloud9, and they tell you, okay, we want you to be the IGL, and this team just dropped Ye and Vanity. Like, why would I join a team which dropped two and
like quite some expectations?
Yeah, like what? Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fill the shoes of like Ye and Vanity, no problem. It doesn't matter who it would be. Like, you must be so confident, and I don't see like anyone would like be fine to do that. Like, this just like either you take someone from tier 2 who is like, okay, I want to prove myself. I don't care who I'm gonna replace. I'm just gonna show my best. Okay, you can get even one of those, but those are not upgrades to those. Yeah, like I don't know.
Imagine. I think the only way they could do it is if they got like Valen and Trent, maybe. Oh my! Shao's the best player in the world, by the way. If you're not watching this on like a second monitor, Showers
You
don't-
guys
around the world.
watching while we're actually doing a podcast. What is this?
How am I
Yeah,
supposed
because-
to watch? Okay, here's the stats. Oh my god, yeah, I agree. But to go back on track,
anyway, sorry.
like Trent and Valorant. I mean, honestly, like it just leaves Cloud9 in a bad spot for the franchise league. They just, I don't see them qualifying for anything, and I don't mean it disrespectful to any of the players, but being thrown 2 new players into your team 3 weeks before the league starts, and you have seen Leviathan, Loud, Energy, all the other teams look spicy. Like, you won't go to Tokyo, that's for sure. So, and I feel bad for like Zappa and Leaf, who've been through a similar situation with Cloud9 when they just sold Zeta and Autumn. And it's exactly the same thing we've seen in 2021. And at this point, I gotta say the management is this just mismanagement, and it feels very bad for the players because I think they deserve better.
Yeah. I mean, I am just shocked at the fact that, like, how is it that Cloud9 in every single esports tries to build a super team, but does not recognize that, like, maybe the personalities don't work, maybe this, maybe that. No, it's about, okay, which players are the best? These guys, all right, we'll buy them. This is just, I mean, Cloud9 gotta find a new mentality. Because, like, if it's all about money talking, you're not gonna win anything.
And I think if this situation had happened before franchising had kicked in, if this happened in 2022, we'd be saying, okay, this is a reason why Cloud9 shouldn't get into franchising. But now they're already in it and they're making these moves. It's like, it's just a bit suspect. I don't know.
Yes, it is.
And like you said, this, for me, their chances of qualifying to Masters Tokyo are drastically reduced. Especially if they remove Vanity as well.
Yeah, like
I mean, there's only going to be 3 or 4 slots.
Welcome Curry.
Yeah, maximum 4. Maximum 4.
God.
And those 4 are, I mean, we got Loud, Energy, Leviathan, which are 3 favorites, I guess. And then there's 100 Thieves. Furia look good. I mean, the list goes on. Like, and I mean, somewhere, like, Yay got to go somewhere. We haven't talked about that one. And if we go through the list of NA teams in the league, we have Cloud9, which he's leaving. 100 Thieves has Cryo. Sentinels has 10. So there's only Evil Genius and Energy. Energy has Artist. So there's only EG left, basically.
If EG get Yay, I'm putting them above C9.
Yeah, of course.
In terms of the way I think about them. Even if maybe they don't. Even if they just kept like their current roster and C9 got... Maybe if C9 got Marved, it'd be a bit different. But
I have a crazy conspiracy, but all right.
Oh god.
I'll just put it as simple as possible.
You just call it conspiracy, so it's not a leak, so you can just say the truth, I guess.
I mean, nothing is a leak for me. Everything is a rumor.
Okay. So what's the rumor?
I'm spreading rumors. It's true.
Okay, spread them.
Okay, there are a bunch of teams that I can probably see trying to get Yay, because here's the thing, like, as far as it seems right now, he won't have a buyout. Like, his contract is that's terminated.
True. Seriously?
Yeah, that's true. He terminated.
That's like,
how can you just terminate Yay's contract?
Mismanagement.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, this just goes to show again, like, it might be financial reasons, because, like, why would you terminate a contract for what is currently seen as the best player in the world?
But if it's financial reasons, surely they try and...
But here's the thing, like,
people to buy him out?
You forget that, like, they have to put up a big buyout, and they still have to pay him monthly while he's on the bench.
I have a question. Isn't the transfer market closed?
No, I mean, like,
after lock-in, there's a period where they can...
Oh my god, so there's just a short amount of time even to get a transfer done. So, like, for Yay, like, this is very difficult. Like, to find a good... Like, oh my god. We're talking about, like, 1 week?
If Yay is not in franchising. Like, I love Tex, but the guard got to pick him up. Well, actually, no, they're not going to, are they? Because they just won't, but not going to pick up.
From one financially struggling team to another.
I can see G2 just buying Yay just to say fuck you to Cloud9.
If G2 buy Yay, then I think they're favorites for Ascension.
Whoever buys them in tier 2 is favorite at this point. Like, Yay, I'm not want to disrespect any tier 2 teams because I think they look promising, but Yay is a player who can tier 1 teams and
Yay to M80.
He's just on
disguised.
Look, honestly, Koala Noob's been firing. I don't know if they need him.
True.
I mean, okay,
But
I have a
maybe
question.
like
DDA.
an outside transfer.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to go to.
Low key, I could see maybe like Team Liquid is like 100% like operated in NA right now. They still
Really?
have like a lot of operations in EMEA and all of that. From
Wait, who?
their
Sorry.
Liquid.
Team Liquid.
Right. Okay.
I kind of feel like that right now. It might. I could see Team Liquid, and it might be crazy for others, but like I can see Team Liquid maybe trying to get Yay.
I mean, why? If Ye is on the market and you're not trying to get him, it's a similar thing like with Messi or Ronaldo in football. If they are on the market, you have to approach, right? I mean, it's just how like if I'm in the manager of whoever team I am, I just throw my proposal out, and the worst thing which can happen is he says no, but maybe it works. So
lead esports, Yay.
I mean, he would. He would secure the bag. That's for sure.
True.
Yeah.
Global esports, Yay.
I would love it, but they can't unless they drop Aaron.
Crazy. That would skyrocket the entire like Indian Valorant scene overnight. Yeah. But I mean, he's too expensive, I guess. Like even for most teams, it's just out of reach. Like if we talk about EMEA, I'm not sure if most teams. I
feel like Ye is quite a humble person, so I wouldn't be surprised if he is okay with a low salary.
Yeah,
I think league standards is still pretty high when it comes to salaries.
Well, when he announced his looking for team for partnerships, when Optic got like disbanded, he said open to offers from NA and EMEA. So something tells me he's not going to go to a Pacific team.
Yeah.
And I don't think he'll go to GE
Team Liquid time.
I mean, it makes sense given the fact of cultural differences.
I could see him going to Team Liquid, and I can see him going to. Actually, that might be it.
EG.
Honestly, EG makes sense.
In terms of EU.
Like,
I think Liquid is the only.
I think I have okay, wait, let me open it up.
Casey, he just starts learning French.
Yeah, Carmen Corp is out of nowhere signs.
What's El Diablo in French?
They did ask about him. I remember in the off season that there was interest from Carmen Corp about Ye.
Like seriously, if I see the EMEA league, I honestly think K Corp K Corp probably not, but Koi, I could see them approaching him.
Problem is, well, no, they're an English-speaking roster. That's right.
They're an English-speaking roster, and also Koi is founded like by the football player PK, and like now they got
also Ibai.
Yeah, so I think if there is an opportunity, and I mean, adding Ye, maybe I mean it's just hypothetical, like it's just like theory, but it could be that Koi would try it. Potentially. Yeah. I'm not saying they have high chances, but why wouldn't they go for it? I would feel a bit bad for Wolfen, but imagine Ye. Holy shit. Trax was popping off. I mean,
that would be...
It is a potential like place where he could go. I'm not saying it's very likely. Liquid would be more likely, probably. Vitality looks good.
EDG.
Just uncut Ye, double duelist, sending it all the time.
They'll win.
How good is Ye's Chinese?
Non-existent.
Ni hao, El Diablo.
I mean, okay. I'll just reveal it. Like, Hookars is signing Ye. And we will be renaming him. We'll be renaming him to Jolin.
And he's gonna play Omen.
He is not gonna play Omen. All right, he's not gonna play Omen. That's for
the only other team in the Americas who have a slot open for an opera like that is Crew, really.
But this is like a full Spanish, or like I'm not even sure. Yeah, and also it's only EG right now who is, from a North American point of view, who is a potential place where he could end up.
Yeah, but also you kind of like, I wouldn't be surprised if NRG try to go for Ye.
But who they drop? Artis?
Really? Seriously? Do you think they're gonna drop Artis?
I don't want it to happen.
Imagine they sign Ye, and then they drop Artis, and G2 signs Artis. Oh,
I'm pretty sure.
Oh my
Artis is
God.
never gonna sign
Okay,
with
no,
T2
wait.
again, but
Let's just be real here. Is the upgrade from Ye to Artis that significant that you would drop like a high salary, whatever? Like, is it worth to like throw all the work you have put in like apart now just to slot in Ye again? Because I think Artis look good in the system, and if we give him a bit more time, I don't think the upgrade is like that significant to do like
I
to
agree.
pull that off. I don't know. If I'm the management of Energy and I have this option, I would be like, maybe it is a 5% or 1% upgrade, but I think Energy looks like a team which can win championships already. So I don't know why I would change it. I don't know.
Yeah, even with a 10% upgrade, I still don't think that you go for it.
Yeah.
But,
Like, no,
so
yeah.
we'll have to see where Ye ends up. Be very interesting.
it is it is quite an interesting move, that's for sure.
It's the worst timing to drop your star.
And then I
duelist.
guess
Yeah,
like
no.
if nothing happens, he's just gonna vibe there until like a team needs a roster change, I guess.
Yeah.
But surely, like, you would rather play in the Challengers League in Tier 2 than just sit on C9's bench.
I'm not
Or
too
Yeah.
sure.
just be,
I mean,
or
he
just
can-
be a
oh,
free
yeah.
agent.
I mean, like the contract is terminated,
Yeah.
so he's not with C9 at all anymore.
Also, when is the next roster changing period for franchising after this?
I guess
I can Google it.
it should be before last chance qualifier, so it should be like during
Right.
matches and all of that.
But if he doesn't get signed now, that means he doesn't get signed in all of the next split and for Tokyo.
Yeah, I mean they could still like get him as a substitute. I believe there are rules about emergency
Can you imagine
substitutes.
having Ye as a sub though? Like, just I feel like I'd rather play for like Turtle Troop than just be a sub on like I don't know some random team.
I think if Ye isn't signed in the next week, apparently, until this current window closes, he is out of tier 1 for the next 3 months. That's just the reality. Like, it's just, I don't see him like being emergency sub or whatever. Like, either someone grabs him now, or he's going to join a team after a roster change is needed. And then perhaps we see him in tier 2, which is bonkers. The best player in Valorant, perhaps playing tier 2 because C9 can't manage their esport rosters.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, the thing with NA teams is basically they just signed rosters too quickly. That's just the vibe that I got. They were literally just like trying to get all the good players, and then they were just praying to God that the rosters would work.
Okay, but like Cloud9's roster, let's say it doesn't work. Then you wouldn't drop Ye. You would drop someone else. That's the thing. You would drop someone else in order to make Ye work again, right? You wouldn't drop Ye if you're trying to get the best roster out of your 5 players you have.
I mean, a duelist can of course give a lot, and Ye gives a lot. But when you have also like really good supporting players, like you have Leaf, you have Zeppa, you have fucking Zelsis, wouldn't you go with a core rather than one player?
And usually, yeah, but in this case, this guy was not only the best player of 2022, but he's proven that if you have a really good supporting core, they should be able to utilize this guy.
Yes.
I mean, there was a reason why he only went negative twice on Optic. How?
Yeah.
How? That's not unheard of. That's unheard of. Like, he's clearly finds value wherever he can.
Yeah.
I think that this was result of a personality clash issue.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Conspiracy theory time. All right, so
I don't know, obviously. It might be the finances of C9.
Okay. So imagine, all right, Optic, they had like a lot of buyouts for all their players when they dropped out of Valorant, right? So what if this has always been the plan for Energy?
Okay, maybe it is the plan.
FNS, Victor, and Crashies, and like the others, they have been scheming this stuff. They have been cooking this entire storyline.
Okay.
Ye, he basically says, I don't really vibe with this team, and then goes free agent, and then joins NRG, and guess who gets benched again? Some gets benched. Marv is back.
Oh.
Okay.
Optic is back.
Honestly, if let's say we get a swap.
For legal reasons, this is a joke, by the way. This is a joke.
Okay, then I hope that Som and Artis get picked up by Cloud9. I hope Cloud9 would pick up Summon Artist just to shit on NRG for that move. If that actually happens, it's the most fucked up thing I've ever heard. And like it would feel
That's
so.
the most esports thing ever.
Yeah, it
That's
was
the most MA storyline possible.
And I would just love to see like C9 picking up Summon Artist just like I'd just be the best team.
I think if NRG dropped Som now, they would just lose so many fans. Like,
yeah, and also he looks
also
cracked.
because
he looks
really good as well. If he looks mediocre, then that's one thing. But
he doesn't. He's the best player right now, maybe, and probably he was the best player in Lock-In, and they went like with Loud head to head in the best series of all time once again. Like this team is almost there with 1 month of preg. If they drop, oh my god, no! I just hope for the sake of my life. I just want to stay sane. I just don't want this timeline. I don't want Ye to be back on energy, even though I like the optic core.
I don't want this timeline at all. This entire timeline that we have had in 2023 has been like chaotic to say the least.
But in a way, like, did it feel weird to you guys, Ye being on that C9 team?
Yeah, it did.
Did it feel something felt slightly off with like? The way how Vanity seems like he IGLs in like quite a funny like way, and you have Zelsys and Zeppa and who are all kind of like loud-ish players, and Ye seemed to be someone who was very humble, very hardworking,
pretty quiet,
disciplined.
Yeah.
Leaf almost actually doesn't fit with the whole Zelsys Zeppa Vanity kind of vibe in my head either. But obviously he's been playing with him for a long time, so I'm sure he does behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But there was something off about it.
Yeah, that's true.
When Ye joined that team.
I mean, it just felt like, again, just another moment of Cloud9 trying to build a super team, and it don't work. Yeah. They tried it so many times, and they still don't realize it don't work.
Well, I think that, like, considering the fact, like, how the type of person Ye is on a personal level, it kind of feels like he would slot into an EMEA team or EG. Because when I was looking into the faces of EG, they were hype, but they were focused on the game, right?
We don't know everything about.
Of course. I still think they were. Like, I think they still liked each other, but if we talk about it's reality that Ye has to find a new team, right? So I can think like he could mesh in a team in EMEA, which is like all hard workers, rather quiet, not to take the game serious. Most of the time, that's just a consensus of the EMEA team or the approach of the game. And EG also looked like it on LAN. If you saw them, I think BCJ was like crazy with the shit talks here and there, but like besides him, like if I look at Ethan, he's like his face, he never smiles, even if he gets 4Ks, and. I think Ye could slot into that because.
Okay, wait.
Oh,
if we basically get EG, if we convince EG to stop doing the whole 10-man team thing.
Yeah, of course they got to drop 5 players to afford Ye.
And just get like. I mean, if you just let Ethan control the roster, I feel like it would be pretty good. I'll be honest.
I mean, Ethan, Ye, and then you let. The other
Teased, I guess.
Who's the IGL right now?
Right now, the IGL, I believe, was Boostio. Yeah. So actually, low key, you could maybe do. You could even add Marved. I'll be honest.
Ooh, EG for Tokyo. I mean, honestly, EG could make moves.
Getting Marved in place of I guess BCJ, and then Ethan, Ye. Boostio, and then I guess Com or Jogamo. Low key, I could see that team banging.
This team would bang, but how bad would it feel again for this whole 10-man roster narrative and everything? Like how they, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day,
let's just put it as simple as possible.
In a position where Marved is playing for Untamable Beasts and Ye is getting dropped from franchising. I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't get it. Like,
we live in a society.
Like the two best players from Optic. Obviously, the rest of Optic are still really good, and they've proven that on NRG. I think at Lock-In they've done really well. But Marved and Ye were the two most impactful players on Optic.
Yeah,
it's like. How are we in this world? And what you were saying, Bang, about the culture of EMEA teams, and you think Ye would fit in well there. I think that was the thing that set Optic apart a lot of the time.
Yeah, true.
As well as teams like the Guard. It seems like their practice culture was really good. And they took the game really seriously.
Agree.
Whereas, not obviously other teams at NA take it very seriously as well, but it seemed like they had kind of instilled that culture in their team of discipline, which I thought was was really good, and Ye, like you said, would fit in well on an EMEA team. But yeah, I don't know how we're in this timeline
Me
of
neither.
Ye and Marved.
It just
I don't
doesn't make
understand.
sense. And we haven't talked about like possibilities for Vanity. If he gets dropped as well, could he be
But
out
here's
of
the thing,
franchising?
like you get nobody. Like, who can you get?
Yeah,
Valen, that's it. You get Valen.
Who
Hubert is IGLing. I don't know, like who you.
I mean,
like,
he does IGL. That's the thing. Hubert does IGL, but
Yeah.
I don't.
I think
I'm not sure
if
they can
they
slot him in.
played full time with Cupid at this point, I think there would be quite a few people who are annoyed about the fact that like they didn't like, let's say Valen or whatever, or maybe not Valen because I know he wanted to stay with the guard, but there's probably a few IGLs in NA who are like, I could have been, IGLing in franchising.
There are IGLs in NA. I didn't know that.
The problem is they're all on what's it called? On teams now. Like
Yeah.
Okay, imagine Steel joining.
No,
Dude, don't.
what is this timeline? And everything makes sense because everything could, like at this point, everything is possible. At this point,
Yeah.
I see
Everything is actually
Kankan and Ye play together. It's all like I don't know. I didn't see Ye being dropped after like the year he had, and then the C9 super team, and then they looked, I think, promising at home ground, not perfect, and even at lock in, they didn't look bad. Like I think, okay, they have to work on certain things for sure.
they took a map off DRX.
Yeah. Okay,
That's
then
why I'm thinking.
yeah.
Moist, yay.
I mean, okay,
Moist, yay.
it's apparently confirmed that won't happen, but
Yeah,
it's a weird timeline.
Low key, it would be funny.
DSG, yeah.
Imagine. I can also like low key see maybe FaZe like trading,
Yeah.
like trading Baby Bay.
I don't know if Ye have the capital to. No, not if Ye have the capital. If FaZe have the capital.
No, but like
to do that.
if they could
trade,
just
what,
do a
trade
trade deal. So basically, they get Ye, and FaZe
Baby Bay and
Clan
Dicey.
gets Baby Bay, or I don't know which. I mean, Poised. Could you? I don't know. Rossi is the IGL, or
I just think the fact if you're trading Ye for Baby Bay, like
Mhm.
what timeline are we living in where that's like a thing that is happening? Ye is like
the bad ending.
he's so good.
Is there any way that Cloud9 gets away with this, having a decent roster? I am not getting the feeling they're gonna have an improved roster from what they have right now.
I mean,
anyway,
something we gotta remember is like they have MCE, and MCE has proven with the guard what he can cook.
True.
And he like, remember, these guys were all the way down in like tier 3 actually.
Mm-hmm.
Most of these players. Trent was a complete unknown.
Yeah.
And he brought like this guard roster to the top.
Yeah.
So
and
I
it's obviously not on the same
like,
level, but they got rid of their most experienced player on the guard. They got rid of Sam. Well, most experienced in terms of general esports. They got rid of Sam, and then they got Trent in, and then it all went up from there. But this is not Sam we're talking about. This is Ye. This is the Yester. This is El Diablo.
I mean,
that's true.
If the team environment is good, players are going to play well.
Yeah. But
sure.
But that's the thing, though. I'm like,
if the team environment improves because of these changes, I'd say, all right, that's good enough.
The thing is, like,
but
Ye
they got
and Vanity. Like, so was Vanity part of the issue as well? Like,
I guess.
Because if they're thinking about dropping him, like, and he's been playing with them for so long with MCE as well, like, it surprises me that Vanity would be part of the problem. And at that point, I would say rebuild around Ye and Vanity.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I mean, it must be a money issue. It can't, like, there's no logical way to think about this. This can only be mismanagement, and they must drop Ye because they're broke. I don't know. Like, because if you're like, from any other way thinking in this, it just doesn't make sense. It's just it's so odd. You just wouldn't do those decisions if it wasn't for the money, right?
My brain can't understand.
Unless they, I don't know, they just hate each other, but they don't. That's for sure.
Doesn't seem like it, So,
yeah.
All right, let's just put it on this. Team Liquid, Yay, Pog, EG, Yay.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's.
I love Team Liquid. Yes.
I hope just Yay. I mean, just for the sake of Yay, I really hope he ends up somewhere. Where
it
he's
would be
be
an
happy.
interesting import, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Wait, do Liquid have any imports already? No,
No.
they don't.
No.
Okay, so they would be okay to do.
And like,
all right,
Yay would be pretty easy to import, to be honest. It's not like
Is that?
when you need to get a Russian.
yeah.
I mean,
true.
okay, true.
Getting like North Americans, like visas and all of that, that's not a big issue for Europe.
Okay.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
So we could see it. Okay,
maybe.
Shall we move
Yay.
on to
yeah. Our final topic for today.
yeah?
I
Or
think.
shall we quickly take a look on the Oni bundle?
Yeah,
Oh
we should definitely look at the Oni
Wait,
bundle. That's for sure.
Shall I send you the link? Or I'm gonna play it here. I'm gonna.
I've got the link.
Yeah, I got it here. I got it open. I'm gonna play
Okay,
it.
there are two versions. There's the cinematic.
Yeah, I'm gonna let the cinematic play through, and we just gotta talk about it, I guess, for a sec.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna start the cinematic here. All right. The Oni bundle. So do we know what is in the bundle? Is it a Vandal and a knife?
Vandal, Frenzy, knife, or katana,
Bulldog.
Bulldog, and Ares, I believe.
Oh no, this sounds. Oh, the Vandal looks. Ooh.
I really like the Vandal. That's for sure.
Okay. Oh, they turned like they. Yeah, they
But my
rotated the barrel,
Yeah.
right? The front of the tip of the gun.
Hmm.
Okay. Oh, okay, the bulldog, not bad.
Sound is like
I can
meh.
try to play
I'll
the
be honest.
sound. Okay, there we go.
So
Yeah,
it
the
has to
sound
be
is-
like. Also, like Ares,
okay.
Keck W.
I mean, it's the Oni bundle. It just fits the style.
Imagine an Oni operator. Oh, just
There's
that
no.
is all.
Is there no? Oh no.
Frenzy is pretty good. I like that.
Yo, that's a clean one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yo, the frenzy looks very clean.
I might actually cop Frenzy, but
Yeah, I like that. I want to see the knife though. Oh,
and it's a katana.
forged.
About time.
I want to see the animation. Oh damn. Oh my
Just
god.
slices it out.
To all the
Yo.
weeps out there, this is it.
I am going back to my weeb life. Life good.
Valorant actually has a pretty told us.
My money. We could be in a recession. We could like. I would literally pay for a bundle instead of food to survive. At this point, we are really in a consumerism world at this point.
I mean, but the bundle looks decent. If you like the Oni bundle, for everyone who couldn't see it because he's listening to it, it looks like the Oni bundle. The skins just for Vandal, Frenzy, Bulldog, Katana knife, and what was the last? Ares. It looks decent, very nice. Especially especially the sword. It's a katana with new animation. It doesn't look like the RGX
VLR
one. It's actually VLR
VLR
crashed. It's actually a katana. So
GG.
I mean, I want to see the knife in game though. Could be a cop.
Yeah.
Could be a cop. Cool one. All right.
Breaking news before the final
Yeah.
topic, by the way.
Navi won the map. Let's go.
Yep. Navi just won the first map.
You know,
Alright,
okay, I
um,
didn't want to jinx it. I have to say it, but Navi won the initial pistol round against Leviathan. And you know from Champions, when Leviathan is losing pistol rounds, they lose the map. It's just a fact.
GG's.
All right.
We're gonna jinx it right now. That's for sure.
We jinxed it already.
Okay. Yeah, true.
Shall we talk about China?
Last part. China.
China.
As reported and now also confirmed, Masters 2, we will see two Chinese teams also making it to the event,
Yes.
which is extremely interesting. And I mean, like, I was right. That's and I can also confirm it's most likely also going to be the case for champions. Although I'm a bit confused as how it's gonna work there for champions.
2 teams confirmed from China, probably.
Yeah, most likely.
For Tokyo, honestly, I think it's a dub. I think it's a dub.
It is.
People say, oh well, they're not competitive. I think this event showed that they are.
Yeah.
With EDG's performance, especially against 100 Thieves, and also FPX looked decent against K Corp.
But that's K
I
Corp,
think-
so it's understandable why people were underrated. Though.
Yeah.
But it's like, if they don't get these spots, they're not going to get better.
Yeah.
So I think they already look good, and they're only going to look better with more of infrastructure in their own region. Now the game's
Yeah.
actually out.
And there's a bunch of
released.
teams that could actually like low key beat them. Because
What,
like
EDG and FPX.
Oh yeah.
I have a feeling that like okay, Cone is back. The initial Cone roster is back. And Totoro Gaming is back. And if you're like the OG before they were like caught in match fixing and all of that, these guys were insane. Oh, okay, and there it goes.
I mean, I can't check anything. VLR's dead.
Yeah, Edge. Tai Lu also look decent. I am not really that high on them. And then there's Billy Gaming, who got like Wiz and what was his Rui, I believe he's called. Those are two really good pickups. So there's a little more competition for EDG and attacking.
Which is only a good thing, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, and attacking Soul is also and Enter. Like Enter is insane because they have Aaron. Aaron is just too good.
Yeah.
So
this guy.
So is the Chinese split going to start before Tokyo, and then that'll decide who goes?
They are going into round 3 now with teams. I believe
there's
2 new teams are getting.
Yeah. I think there's something going on right now as well. Like while we were at login in China, there was play for the other teams.
Yeah, there was also play. Like teams who qualified for the regular season. These are just like for some reason they have like 5 open qualifiers. So more than what NA got. Let me see.
So it's very confusing.
It is.
Right now very confusing. So.
As of now, yeah, but it will change.
So let me see. Wait, where is it?
So they will actually play to decide these slots.
Yeah,
it will effectively be like the system from NA in 2022 or whatever it is, where the top 2 teams from China just go to Tokyo, which I think is a good thing.
I think so too. And also like with the Chinese approval of Valorant, the scene has seen already investments. There will be more investments in the future. The teams will profit from that. There will be more competition, and teams like EDG and FPX, they will have to step it up to remain the number 1 spot in their region, and therefore the level will just increase. So there will be 2 very competitive teams coming from China towards Tokyo. And also they're adding 2 slots to Tokyo. It's not that anyone is like losing slots or that anyone gets cut. No, we just see more teams, and more teams is more fun, I guess.
Yeah. In terms of the maths for champions, me and Bo were talking about this before the call started.
Yeah.
If you have 2 Chinese teams, that leaves you with 14 teams left. And let's say there's 1 from each LCQ, right? From each region. That would give you minus another 3 teams, which leaves you with 11 teams. How do you do that? Because then even if you do, we'll add another one for the winner of Tokyo, probably, which is what they will probably do. Yeah. Then that leaves you with 10. Then do you have another extra slot for something else? Like,
wait, we have 3 per region, so 9 from the 3 leagues, plus 1 LCQ from each league, so we are on 12 for the main. And then we have China too.
Yeah, that's 14, and then 1 from maybe the winner of Tokyo.
So we had 15. Okay, so either China, maybe China only 1 slot for champions, or
maybe only 1 slot for China, and then they get a team in the the Pacific LCQ, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, but wait, would it make sense to make champion like the winner of Tokyo going to champion? Would that make sense, just given by the fact that the circuit point is there circuit points in place? Because I guess like if you win Tokyo, your circuit points would be high enough anyways, because there's nothing in between. Yeah. So how is that actually?
Unless they have 2 teams from China and a Chinese LCQ, then you have 3 teams from China, 4 teams from each of the other regions, and then the winner of Tokyo as well.
Then you had 16. Then you would be at 16.
Yeah,
but that would also like I don't know if we have
3
the
Chinese
winner of
teams.
Tokyo plus like 3 teams per region plus LCQ. So potentially, let's say America wins Tokyo. They have 1 slot from Tokyo plus the 4 teams which got. It's like half the league just qualified for champions. That also feels a bit weird, doesn't it? Like
yeah,
it doesn't sound right? The most like prestigious and the most like just the best of the best, and then you have half the league going to champions. Doesn't feel right. So
maybe
yeah.
Riot's waiting to see how competitive China actually are at Tokyo.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
And then they'll make a decision.
Maybe Pacific,
on
like
that, but-
during their last chance qualifier, like
Yeah,
two Chinese teams also get in.
Maybe they do it like this. They did it exactly the same way for last champions, right? Where EDG was going through the Pacific LCQ and actually dominated. And yeah,
But wouldn't that
it was
also
great.
like lower the value for Pacific, because like now they basically share it with China? It's kind of. I can imagine some organizations being butthurt about it, and you don't want organizations to be butthurt about it. That's for sure.
Yeah,
we'll have to see how they handle that. But
yeah,
as long as the Chinese team's there, I think it will be
true.
It'll be good.
Yeah,
but for Tokyo, speaking of Tokyo, it's a very good addition. I like it. 2 more teams, more competition, more teams, more playstyles, more to enjoy. Kankan.
Why not?
True that. It's gonna be exciting, that's for sure.
I mean, Yay is joining EDG, so gonna be great.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, for real.
Oh my god.
Bleed esports, yay! I can imagine that.
At this point, I can imagine it too. All right.
All right, I think that's everything for today.
Yes.
So, we hope you enjoyed very much. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And thank you for watching this far in. We should be back next Tuesday with another episode after lock-in has finished.
Hell
Tuesday, it's Tuesday, isn't it?
In it.
So yeah, goodbye everyone, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Bye bye.
See ya.
I know cars.